Life is a journey, a wild one to be honest. It teaches you the importance of going through the grind of hardships and fear. But life is also just as wonderful. When you feel that nothing else can be done and that this is it, that is when it shows you that everything that you went through wasn't in vain. Today, you guys are going to be hearing about my story. 10 years ago, when I just entered into the first grade, I remember setting foot in my karate dojo for the first time. At the time, it was always a push to send me there. I never really liked it and I never made friends there. I always felt that I was being pushed into it against my will. The fear of hurting or getting hurt was something that was always in my mind. There were times when I cried due to the fear of going for it. Now the thing was that during my 4th and 5th grade, I started to gain a lot of weight. This made me look really different and I was made fun of at times. But most of my friends were there for me, supporting me, while some disappeared. Someone who really helped me out during this phase was my grandmother. Every single day she used to take me to my karate class and sit there till it was over so that I never felt alone, which otherwise I would have felt. My karate too came to my rescue in these times. Unknowingly, due to the practice, I started to lose a lot of weight. I became more strong and confident about myself. Now at the age of 13, I was a golden brown belt in karate. Something which most people aren't able to reach. And yet, I did not like it. But this was because of the fear of giving a 13-hour-long exam for my black belt. I was so close and I wanted to give up. I used to make the lamest of excuses to avoid classes and act as if I wasn't well. But then one day my mom and dad sat with me. I remember it was when we were deciding whether I should continue or not. And while we were discussing this, my dad suddenly looked at me and stopped. Then he looked me in the eye and said, "Keegan, if you give up today, you are going to regret it for the rest of your life that you were so close to being a black belt, an achiever, and then because of the fear of an exam, you quit." And that statement really changed my life. It ignited this lost fire in me. I did not want to be a mediocre and anybody who was scared because of an exam. I wanted to stand out of the crowd and be known as the one who never gave up. And that is when my real journey began. Each day I started practicing more, putting more effort than the previous one. I started winning tournaments and confidence was boosted. This new crazy fire in me really made the difference. I was so motivated that in my black belt exam I had no trouble at all. 13 hours just flew by, and even though it was the toughest thing I'd ever faced, I knew that giving up was not an option at all. I remember the day when I received my black belt and when Mehul sir told me that he was proud of me. That line completely changed me as a person. My sirs never gave up on me. They were constantly there by my side, encouraging me to continue throughout. Without them, I would have not been where I am today. I also remember the sacrifices made by my family over the duration of 9 years till I was a black belt, especially by my mother, who was with me through all the summers and Christmases at my karate camp so that I never felt left out or alone there. 3 months after receiving my black belt, I got a call from Jatin sir and Vipul sir, both who wanted me to enroll for the Kudo DSO tournament. Now the thing was that I did not want to participate. For everything seemed to be going so well and I didn't want to lose and ruin it. But my sirs believed in me and he told me to give it a shot. My DSO and zonal tournament went with the breeze, and then came the state level championship. Now after sitting through the DSO and the zonal tournament, I was motivated to give my best no matter what. I remember very well the moment when I received my state champion medal and the feeling of pride surging through my veins. And then I realized that having become the state champion, now I was directly selected for the nationals where I would be representing my state. It was a moment of pride from me. From that day on, I trained very hard until my nationals. Yet I was still nervous, for I knew I was being watched by everyone, my coaches, my friends, my family, all who believed in me so much. I remember the day I left for Sagar in Madhya Pradesh where my tournament was to be held, from the 15th to the 20th of December 2019. I remember as I left in a specially allotted train for the Maharashtra team, the pride and enthusiasm surging through me, telling me that I can win this no matter what. The entire national trip was about being a team. I took charge of my group of friends traveling from Mumbai. We were there for each other throughout the trip. I remember us cheering for each other, motivating each other, and giving each other tips during the fight. And then finally the day came. I was to fight in the under 17 years age group in the plus 65 weight category, which was indirectly an open category. I was nervous since I had just crossed the age of 14 and each one of them was 16 plus and much heavier and well built than me. Before any of my fights started, I remember a specific incident. My dad was obviously worried about me after seeing my opponents. He thought I was under a lot of pressure which would affect me negatively during the fight. I remember him coming up to me and saying, "Keegan, it's okay if you don't win today. Whatever happens, whether you win or lose, it doesn't matter to me. I just want you to know that I am proud of you." And I remember the next statement which I made, which completely took him aback. I said, "Dad, today, whatever happens, I am only gonna aim for the gold no matter what, and I am gonna achieve it." Saying that, I stepped into the ring. Before each fight, I motivated myself by saying, "Keegan, you have won this is your fight." My first two fights went well, though I was injured a lot in my second fight. But the second fight, the injuries did not stop me at all. My finals was against the guy from Gujarat, and he was heavily built and strong. He hardly gave me a chance to score at all. In the last 15 seconds of the match, I remember losing faith in winning. But then I heard my friends and family cheer for me, and I felt the energy and the power in me amplify. I was 1 point down from winning. All I had to do was land one perfect kick. There were 5 seconds left in the match. I remember waiting till the very last second and completely confusing my opponent. And then, just as they were about to stop the fight, I landed a hard and perfect thigh kick, sealing the win. At that moment, there was complete silence. The Gujarat team was stunned. They had been thinking they had won, but at the last second, the tables had turned. I leaped into the air with pure joy and a sense of victory. The Maharashtra team went wild, cheering for me, shouting the praises of Shivaji Maharaj and the other great Maratha warriors. Our Maharashtrian team came second as a whole in the tournament. We had some of the best fighters among us. In the end, our support towards each other really did pay off. And that's how I, someone who despised the sport, today I'm India's national Kudo champion, who also went on to win the best player of the nationals under the age of 17, and I was just 14. It all seems like a dream now when I look back. I especially want to thank my main instructor Mehul sir, who is also the Kudo president of India, who never lost faith in me, and all my karate sirs who never gave up on me when I was at my lowest and when I did not want to continue. But guys, through the story, all that I want to tell you is miracles do happen and opportunities do knock at our doors. It's up to us if we want to grab them or not. In the end, I'll conclude by just saying one thing. It's all about believing in yourself, because if you don't, no one ever will.